It's Deprogrammed. My name is Justin Wilson, and today we're going to be talking about the Twilight Singers. But first, if you're listening to this show and you just happen to stumble upon us, hit that subscribe button on iTunes. That'd be great, or Google Play, wherever you're listening to us. That would be awesome. Find me on the Facebook. I think it's Deprogrammed VA, or just follow me on Twitter at the Hulkster, and I will give you the direct link so you can find me on Facebook or wherever you choose to follow this fine program. Today, as I said, we're talking about the Twilight Singers, and joining me on the panel here in house is Bryan Lewis.
Hi, hello.
Welcome back to the show, my friend.
It has been a while, man. I've missed it.
I think it's funny we're doing Twilight Singers today because I feel like it's been almost exactly a year since the Wigs.
Really? Has it been that long?
I want to say it was May of last year we did the Wigs.
Yeah, wow. I guess it was.
Because we were still in the garage at that point, so it was before we made the big leap, and it was either late April or sometime in May.
I didn't realize it was that long ago.
Yeah, man.
This is like my 8th appearance on the show. I think
I've lost count.
Me too. Like I was trying to recall the ones I did today, and I was like, I couldn't think like 4.
The last one you did, I know for sure though, was Depeche Mode.
That's right, I did Depeche Mode.
And I listened to that one recently, and I remember how depressed we were, like, doing the show.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was nothing but miss, like, for 5 straight rounds. Miss. And, like, we were all bummed out. Hilarious episode, though. It was a great listen. It's not often that I listen to my own show, but occasionally, I just go back and see what it sounded like to the listener. I
listen to my show sometimes. How
do you get better if you don't? Right?
Yeah. And I'm like, how did anybody listen to this? Hundreds of people listen to this.
We may be joined by Bob France. We might be.
That'd be great.
He said he needed to do later. We pushed it back to a time that it is now.
Yes.
And
the future.
And if we can get him in, we'll get him in.
Right.
But we're here to talk about the Twilight Singers. So during the Afghan Wig show, actually, both you and Bob were like, Afghan Wig's great, but let me know when we're doing Twilight Singers. So tell me, what is it about Twilight Singers that takes the cake, like, over the Wigs for you?
I mean, like I said, I got into the Wigs on their last record, 1965. Well, their last record before they got back together and all that. Yeah. Their last, in their heyday. And it was more folksy, and I think I liked it. I liked it because of that. And then I hadn't heard anything because I wasn't like an active fan or anything. I liked that record. And then I heard Black Ray Bell probably when it came out. And I was like, this is so much more dark and brooding. And it seemed like a natural evolution of where the Wigs ended, right? And what Dulli should have been doing a lot more of in the Afghan Wigs. Like, I think Afghan Wigs is still always going to be more rock and roll based than I don't know, like dark folksy, like a gothic Neil Diamond, to quote forgetting Sarah Marshall. But
yeah,
like it's there are so many lyrics that they're just etched into my heart.
I also noticed in listening, there's points where it's almost Rod Stewart-y.
Okay.
It's not an A to B.
Right.
But like I felt. So here's what I mean by that.
Please, you're gonna have to clarify that.
So when we did the Wigs, very sexy
totally.
band.
Yeah.
But in a rocking like I'm gonna hard fuck you kind of way. Twilight Singers was also sexy, but in a more like let's make some love kind of way. And it's not necessarily in the content, more in the presentation.
Yeah.
And I don't know, when I was a young teenager, I always got that feeling from Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
Like that it's something about that presentation of bravado of I'm gonna bed you down.
Yeah.
Like I said, not necessarily in the content. Oh,
it looks like Fresh is gonna join us.
Oh, look at this! I'm gonna try to give him a call here and.
Good, because I feel like he and we connected so much on the Afghan Wigs episode that this is gonna fail miserably because I was surprised at how much we like both basically the same list with Afghan Wigs.
All right, so hopefully we're calling him right now. It sounds like we are.
Yeah, something's going on.
It's the Skype be making noises. But I know that. Oh, Bob isn't online.
No, all right. We can edit this out. That's fine.
I won't.
I never did either.
Well, look, I say that I want to do that stuff, but like I was telling you off air that I don't want to stress myself out this time.
Yeah.
I want it to be as easy as possible.
Mm.
Ooh. Sexy.
It's louder this time.
Hello?
Jesus, this fucking app is the fucking pits. Oh god, I hate it. It's the fucking worst. Why does anybody use Skype? It sucks more than anything.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's not your fault, man. I'm just complaining because I hate Skype. I hate it.
Get it together, Skype.
Well, it's what I have on this super outdated machine, and it is what it is.
Hey, I'm not hating on you, Justin. I'm just hating on the app, bro. That's all.
You're also hating on the program. Deprogrammed.
No, I'm hating on the program of Skype, I guess. Not your program. I'm excited to be here.
Well, Bryan and I started a couple minutes ago. We kind of started laying some groundwork about we talked about the Wigs and we started talking about the Twilight Singers. So tell me why it is that you're so excited to talk about the Twilight Singers.
Because they're fucking awesome. That's why.
Okay, so let me ask you this. I said this to Bryan. I'm going to leave the Rod Stewart thing out this time.
Yeah, you probably should.
Why? I love Rod Stewart. Why? Let's talk about Rod Stewart.
Me too. But like, so I likened the Wigs to, okay, so they're both sexy. Both bands are sexy. But the Wigs are like hard fucking, and the Twilight Singers are kind of like making love. How far off am I with that?
No, I'm going to completely disagree with that too.
Okay.
I think they're both kind of like, I think they're both bands are versatile enough to do both.
They just, so what you're saying is Dulli likes to swing his meat.
Yeah, well, I mean, like the Twilight, the Afghan Wigs are the Afghan Wigs. Like they are their own separate entity. They have their own sound. We talked about this on the Afghan Wigs Deprogrammed, that like their newer stuff I don't care for as much because it doesn't sound like the Afghan Wigs anymore, because like Rick McCullum's gone and like they've been through a bunch of different drummers and stuff, and it doesn't have that same kind of drive. Whereas the Twilight Singers, I always felt their musical stylings was always kind of a work in progress. Like they just kind of did different things. Like Twilight, as played by the Twilight Singers, it's kind of dreamy and a little more emotional, whereas like Powder Burns is very kind of hard, and kind of raw, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
totally,
I agree.
And I feel like Powder Burns is where I made my Rod Stewart reference to Bryan. Like there was, and when we start playing the game, the song will come to me. But like there's a song, and I was like, oh, there's something very Rod Stewart about this, like sexy and just like. Sex driven, maybe is the.
Well, but I think that's just mainly Dulli. Yeah. Like that's his kind of persona. That's the image he's crafted for himself. But as a whole, I've always felt like the Twilight Singers kind of musical stylings was just kind of more kind of fluid. But kind of doing different things, where the Afghan Wigs in my head have a very kind of distinct sound.
They're very rockin'.
Yeah, like it just kind of makes more sense to me,
All right, so let's talk about the Twilight Singers, like specifically. Let's talk about so does the Twilight Singers form as just a Dulli side project? He's bored with what the Wigs are doing, or did the Wigs take a break? Like, how do this Twilight Singers come about?
I want to say, Bryan, wasn't it the Wigs took a break or something like that? And then
it was when the Wigs were having the dispute with the label before they signed for was it Universal? No,
they were with Columbia for a while.
It was between that and before 1965 came out.
Okay,
that he started doing the demo work for Twilight Singers.
Yeah.
So is it Dulli all on his own, or did he build around another band around him?
They've kind of had consistent members over the years, but it's really just Dulli for the most part.
Yeah, it's just Dulli doing Dulli stuff, because like the first record, the one kid from Brad, is it Brad? What's his name? Steven. Hang on, let me get this kid's name. He's got a great voice. Hang on.
Is his name Steve Stevens?
Yeah, Steve Stevens.
Steve Stevens.
What's his name? I want to say he was in the band Brad. It's a real band. Look it up, you motherfucker. Let's see here. Twilight is played by the Twilight Singers. They're not really giving me much information here on this fucking. Huh, that's weird. There's not much. Their Wikipedia page for that is just bullshit.
Yeah, I saw
let's
that earlier
see here. What's the name of that band? It's the kid that sings Howlin' Maggie. That's what it is. Yeah, like there was members of like Howlin' Maggie on there, and like the one dude is kind of singing in the background for a lot of the songs. I forget his name. I should know this stuff, but I just don't. Sean Smith from Brad and Satchel and Pigeonhead. There you go. Okay. I was right. So he's singing in the backgrounds and doing. And then the next record, it's all like Mark Lanigan's all over the place.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of doing what he wants to do. You know, like Apollonia's on the goddamn record on Blackberry Bella. I mean, that's a Prince protege right there, dude. You know, so I mean, he's just kind of doing what he wants to do.
So in a way, like there's a relation to kind of what Josh does with Queens of the Stone Age. Like it's like you said earlier, very fluid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing set in stone.
There isn't a Twilight Singers record that you can say doesn't sound like the Twilight Singers, but you can say that about Afghan Wigs as Bob just pointed out earlier.
Right.
Like their later stuff doesn't sound like the Afghan Wigs, but every Twilight Singers record sounds like the Twilight Singers, even though they all sound kind of different in their own way.
Yeah. They all kind of have like their own vibe. Like it's pretty impressive, man. Like I at this point in my life, I like the Twilight Singers more than I like the Afghan Wigs, and I think Blackberry Bella is Greg Dulli's like watershed moment as like an artist.
Wow. Weren't you saying something about that, Brian? Like,
yeah.
You had a feeling that you guys were going to be on the same page there.
Yeah, I was worried. I mean, I was worried about the wigs that Bobby and I was working out, like, land a lot, because I know that he's, like, a hardcore fan more than me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, dude, I love the Afghan Wigs. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, like, there is, to me, like, just from the time it came out, 2003, like, Blackberry Bella is like the pinnacle of Greg Dulli's work in my mind, and I don't think he's ever done anything better than that, and I don't know if he ever will, because I mean it's just such a powerful, it's just such a wonderful album.
So the band is inactive now? Like they started in, I think Twilight as done by the Twilight Singers was 2000, right?
Yes.
And then I feel like the most recent. Man, I should probably just have all this stuff up.
It's 2011. They haven't really done much since then, because the Wigs have kind of got back together.
Right. And so I guess the band is just kind of on back burner until he can get back to it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so I guess the final question. Okay, have either of you ever seen them live? Do they do live?
Oh yeah.
I have not seen them.
I've seen it. I saw the Twilight Singers live, I want to say 3 times on the Blackberry Bella tour.
Nice.
Like I saw them at the 930 Club. I saw them at Black Cat, which was a really weird little venue. I mean,
love that venue.
Dude, it's a spot in DC. I mean, Dulli just brings it. And then they played the Norva in 2006 with the Powder Burns tour. And I actually got to meet Greg Dulli.
Sweet.
That must have been.
We interviewed him on the old Mike and Bob show. We interviewed him twice, and the second time was right before the show. And then after the show, I met him, and I've never been more terrified to meet another human being before in my entire life.
What's funny, you're not really that type, right? Like
no, not at all.
Starstruck?
No, but I mean, like I've been listening to the Afghan Wigs, and I've been listening to Greg Dulli since I was 15. This was in 2006, so I was fucking an old stupid man at that point. I was 30 or something. I was almost 30 when I saw him, and like I was just intimidated by he's a giant dude. Like he's massive, like he's huge, and he's barrel chested, and he's smoking. He had a sunglasses on, kind of down over his nose, and he's smoking a cigarette. And he's holding the cigarette between like his two front teeth, and he's like, "You guys want to shoot some pool?" And I'm like, "No." And I just kind of shook his hand. I was like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Bob." He's like, "Bob, nice to meet you." And then he went back to playing pool, and my wife and I kind of hung out for a minute. I was like, "I got to get out of here." Like, I couldn't be anywhere near him or in his aura. It was just too much for me. And then I left as quickly as I could.
So I mean, part of that obviously is just, good old fashioned starstruck, but part of that has to be the magnetism of him too, though.
I mean, like, because I was just gonna gush at him, like, and
right.
I knew it was coming, so I just had to get out of there. Powers hung out with him, and even asked, like, "Where's Bob? Where's the co-host guy?" He's like, "He was here a while ago, but he left." So, like, I guess Powers hung out with him till like 2 a.m, just kicking it.
Shit.
But yeah, I couldn't do it, man. It was just too much for me. Like, it was just I had to get the hell out of there.
So I had no idea who. I'd heard the name Afghan Wings in passing before the Mike and Bob show, but I had no idea who the Twilight Singers were, obviously, until I started hanging out with you guys. And it took till 2018
wow.
for me to finally make the dive in. Well, Spotify's a wonderful thing, man. Like, now that I went ahead and finally paid for it, and you can literally get just about anything you want on it. I mean, it's I was listening to TLC records a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Because why wouldn't you?
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Ooh, on the TLC tip. That was the one. But, so it's like to have, and, we did the Wigs literally about a year ago now, we figured. And wanting to make the dive into the Twilight Singers, first of all, it's great that there's not a ton of records. So it wasn't like this. Sometimes, like we're doing Chevelle next week, and there's 91 songs.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and
why?
they've done like 7 records.
I can name
why?
Yeah.
And it's like you see that number, and it's like, oh my God, it feels like it's going to be this overtaking. I ultimately end up enjoying the band, but when you see a number, what was it, like 50? For Twilight Singers, 47. Like it's not a lot.
No.
Yeah.
And
now let me ask you a question: are we doing songs from "She Loves You"?
Yes.
Are we doing from "A Stitch in Time"?
I have something there.
Oh, okay. I don't think I do because I didn't. I just pulled stuff that was on Spotify. So
okay, all right.
A Stitch in Time's on Spotify.
Is it?
Yes. Yeah. It's him and Lanigan together. That was like the birth of their like side project that they did, the Gutter Twins.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is their record's called Santa. I don't know. It's not great. It's not what I wanted.
I was
it to be.
so disappointed by that record.
Yeah, well, because A Stitch in Time that they did together was amazing, and then the songs that they did together on Blackberry Bella, like Number 9, is an amazing fucking song, and then you're like, this is gonna be, the greatest thing ever, and it just didn't live up to my expected hype.
Mine either. I feel the same way about that record.
So I guess to be upfront about it, here's what do I have? I have stuff from Blackberry Bell, Powder Burns, Twilight is done by the Twilight Singers. There's a couple others. Why am I? She Loves You, which ended up, honestly, She Loves You was one of my favorites.
Oh, it's great.
I love that one.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Brian.
I didn't include anything from that on my usual. I don't put covers on here just because I like to. Even though that record is amazing and they made all those songs their own, I still like just to make it easier on me. I didn't do anything that was a cover. So
well, I mean, if I had done some research, I would have noticed that they were covers, and probably it would have definitely taken everything down.
Well, part of the beauty of Greg Dulli and the Afghan Wigs and the Twilight Singers, I know this is a Twilight Singers deprogrammed, but when you talk about Greg Dulli, you kind of have to mention both bands. One of the beauty, the wonderfulness of is the covers that they do and the covers that they choose and the way how they kind of dominate them and make them their own, where you almost forget who originally sings the song. So I think the cover record is a must. Then
I don't feel so bad about having them.
No, I figured I'd probably be the only one who didn't include it, just because Yeah.
Let's see. Just to finish I've got stuff from Dynamite Steps. I already said Powder Burns. And what's this one? Blackberry Bell I already said. So I want to say all in all it was like 5 or 6 records. So
and I will say this, okay, just right off the bat, before we get going, before this thing starts, that My Time Has Come is the worst fucking song Greg Dulli's ever written. I said it. I'm done with it. The vampire song, There's a Girl Lying Inside of My Bed, that one is the worst fucking song he's ever written. It's off Powder Burns. It's just trash. And I'm just gonna get it out there. I'm just gonna say it. It's the worst song he's ever written, and I hate it more than anything. It's about some dumb. It's like that weird Dooley vampire thing. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. It's just it's a really shitty song, and if you have that song on your list, then your list is just complete bullshit, and you should just throw it away.
Well, the good news is that one must not have struck a chord with me. Because
that is not on my list.
Okay, but so the name of the game is Deprogrammed, and
God, it's awful.
So the three of us on this panel have taken and listened to apparently very different lists of music, but we've plucked out 20 songs that we're now going to play against each other to try to form an ultimate starter kit for the Twilight Singers.
A Voltron.
A Voltron, if you will, yes. And, hopefully you will take our advice, listen to these 10 songs, and become a Twilight Singers fan. That being said, where do I start? I know exactly where I start, and I hope I hit on this one because this song has been in my head since the first time I heard it. Bonnie Bray.
Yep. On mine.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really have an Afghan Wig, a Twilight Singers kind of list without this song.
I didn't realize it was like a popular one. Like I went and looked.
It was on Rescue Me, and
yeah, and it was a great scene on Rescue Me. It just wasn't on Rescue Me. I mean, it was in the middle of like a family brawl at a restaurant where Tommy finds out that his brother is fucking his ex-wife. Nice. I mean, it was amazing. Like it was awesome.
I had no idea, but I went and looked at the Spotify list, and it looks like a couple mine maybe in that top. Now that being said, it's one of the top listened songs, but it's only like just over 500,000.
Yeah,
so it's not like it's
into sweet oblivion.
It's what's the line? If she's your master, get on your knees and beg for more.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, yeah, dude.
So good. And then just that the simplicity of the guitar at the beginning.
It's the same riff the whole song.
And
it works.
Yeah. And the first time I heard it, I could not get it out of my head. You may not have noticed I was humming it while we were trying to get Bobby on the line. But yeah. So all right. So 1 for 1, we're in. Bonnie Bray is in. I dig it. All right, Bryan.
This is maybe tied for first as my favorite Twilight Singers song, Esta Noche.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like this is gonna be. It's just not even gonna be like fun because I mean every song is fucking great except the one song, "My Time Has Come," which is just straight garbage.
I feel like putting it on my list now.
Because you'll listen to it and you'll go, God, the song fucking blows, and you won't even do that to yourself. Like there'd be no way.
Well, I mean, the worst part would be, if we just knock all 10 out in the first round, then you can talk about how much you like the band some more.
Yeah.
So, Bob, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna. I still don't understand the point of this game. Like, are we trying to get songs on the list, or am I just trying to wow you with my awesome Twilight Singer knowledge?
I try to do
shit that I really dig. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what makes me kind of wonder where we are here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's really up to you. But the idea of the game is getting 10 songs that we can present to somebody.
Yeah, but I mean, like you guys talk about like winning and it's a game. I think we're just coming up with like a super fun list of cool shit that you want to listen to. I've always thought it was weird that you present it as a game, but I'm not here to judge your
except for Skype,
your program. Except that I'm gonna totally do it. But I'm gonna say that it's weird because it's my wife's favorite Twilight Singers song, and I love it too. And it's from "She Loves You," and it's "Too Tough to Die."
Yep, I got it.
Good one.
I've seen him play it live, and even live, it's more amazing. Because anytime you get the opportunity to see the Afghan Wigs or Greg Dulli live, you should. Even though I didn't when they came to Cincinnati recently, because tickets were like $80, and with the babysitter, it's just impossible to do. But yeah, Too Tough to Die.
I got it. So I mean, it's in the combo. Brian doesn't have it. So
I don't have it on a technicality. If I was going to include that, that would be one of the ones on there.
But so the question is, and I'll ask these as they come up. Too Tough to Die. Obviously, these are covers. I've never heard that original. So where does that come from?
I want to say it's like an old like blues tune or something like that.
Yeah.
Like it's just Dooley being Dooley and going, "This is a cool song. I'm gonna make this song my own," and he just fucking blows it out of the water.
Oh, all right.
You know?
Yeah. All right. So it's my turn, and I'll tell you the second song that was one of the first that I heard, but it stuck out immediately, and until I heard Bonnie Bray was probably the favorite I'd heard. King Only.
That was the one that made the cut.
Yes.
In my honorable mentions.
All right.
Wait, King Only? I don't have that one.
All right. Well, it's in the combo.
So. I like it, but I don't have it.
All right. It's all right. Brian?
All right. Again, tied for first is my favorite. It's gonna be "There's Been an Accident."
Let's see.
I think it's one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard in my life.
I don't have
From Powderbirds.
I don't have it.
What I'm doing is I'm just going through, and every time you pick a song, I'm just listening to it very low in my headphones. It's a great song. It's not on my list, but it's a great song. Because there's another song on this record that I like more that's similar, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, totally.
But I love this song.
Yeah. All right, Bob, it is your turn.
I'm just gonna go with my similar song. Is Candy Cane Crawl.
See, that was a hard cut for me from Powderburns.
Really?
Yeah, I think Powderburns is almost just as good as Blackberry. Like, Powderburns is one of the greatest rock records I've ever heard.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Like, except My Time Has Come.
Right. Yeah.
I do not have Candy Cane Crawl.
Really? Oh, see, you know why? It's because you've never seen him do it live either. Because what happens is, and the funny part is, one of the people, I guess, was Mike Power's sister, who's also a big fan. Like, what he does is Dooley will pick somebody out from the crowd and bring them up on stage and sing the song to them. And then when it gets towards the end, like, he kind of ramps it up and just goes kind of nuts. It's pretty fucking amazing to watch live. But I love, like, the shit'll twist your mind if you let it, so slow down. I love it.
This was another one on the top of the list, so I'm going to trot this one out there and see if you guys have it. Teenage Wristband.
Absolutely.
Of course, come on, dude. I mean, that doesn't even. Why are you even fronting? Like, I mean, like, we could just do just listen to Blackberry Bella and that's it. Like, that could be like, just go listen to Blackberry Bella and you'll be good.
My list was almost like that and Powderburns. I was like, I could just put both these records on here and that's my list.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird to me too, because I can't even, in my head, I can't even break up Blackberry Bella because, like, it just kind of flows so naturally into each other. Because I mean, fucking black out the windows, dude. It's party time.
Yeah,
it just goes right into Esta Noche and Teenage Wristband, and they just, all the songs just kind of, those first like 5 songs just kind of bleed into each other. And to me, it's almost like one song.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially the first 3 are
yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah.
The same song, like one song. Well, now that you mentioned it, I will just Martin Eden, which is the Black Out the Windows. Yeah.
Okay, I don't have Martin Eden, but
you're an idiot.
It was literally the last.
I mean, you're an idiot.
Cut.
Like, you're an idiot.
Well, sorry. It was literally my last cut.
So, really?
Wow. No, I would.
I mean, I don't even know how you can. Well, like, it just sets the tone for the whole record.
Here's the thing, and
wow,
it would have made it if I would have known if I would have known that She Loves You was a cover record,
Yeah.
it would have drastically changed my list, and Martin Eden would have made it. So
Wow.
Well,
it is what it is. I mean, it makes it easier.
Let's
when we
all
come
go
back
play
to it later.
Suicide now because the show's over.
Yeah, wow. I mean, wow. That's weird to me, man. Like, I can't, because, like, it just sets the whole tone for the album. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's this kind of, like, Dooley's got this weird kind of, like, it's like a weird kind of dark party record. Yeah, because, I mean, he wrote the whole album after, what's-his-face killed himself, Elliott Smith.
Oh.
I thought it was based around. Oh no, yeah. When Jonathan Demme died, or
Elliott Smith.
Ted Demme. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I saw him at the 930 Club, he was the Black Cat. He was talking about it, and he was like, because Dooley used to run I think he still may, but he owns a bar called the Shortstop, and he used to bartend there on slow nights. And Elliott Smith used to come in, and Elliott Smith would just sit at the end of the bar, and like they would kind of talk about stuff and talk about music. And he had no idea that Elliott was kind of so down. And then he killed himself, and then like he just scrapped his whole record that he had and just fucking wrote a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, which became Amber Headlights, right?
Yeah, that's his solo album. Yeah. And even like you could listen to Amber Headlights and hear how some of the songs got reworked and kind of retooled. But yeah, he just said like he kind of went inside of himself, and same thing with Demme, because him and Demme were really good friends. And when they passed away, like he just kind of wrote this record and just went with it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying it was on my radar, so it's not like
I mean, and when I say you're an idiot, I don't mean it like literally. I'm not really being mean. I'm just saying like, wow, that's a hard one for me to go, huh, weird.
Well, that just means it's not an automatic in. That's all that means.
I mean, even when you were tweeting out a couple weeks ago, like, what are the like best opening lines of an album? The first one I thought of was Tribe Called Quest and Black Out the Windows. It's party time.
Yeah.
You know?
Speaking of Tribe, I started listening to Tribe. We're going to be doing Tribe in a couple weeks.
Oh, yeah,
can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, so. Bob, it's actually your turn.
I'm going to stay with Blackberry Bella. This is going to sound weird, but like all these songs make me strangely emotional. Just because of different times in my life when I listen to them. I get kind of choked up a lot of the times when I'm talking about it, like even in my car driving, singing these songs to myself. And one of those songs is Feathers.
Not on my list.
No.
Oh man, like when he does that, that Sweet Perfume You Love. Oh man.
I think that one didn't make it through my first round. So
he just gets me, man. Like Dooley just gets me. Like he knows what strings to pull on me. And Feathers is one of those songs because it's kind of lighthearted and a little upbeat. And you could just tell he's singing about some lady that he'd be loving, and it's just sweet. Like it's a sweet song, and I enjoy it.
That's how I feel about There's Been an Accident. Like there's lines in that song. It's like. I don't live here anymore, so my shadow walks in place of me. It's like,
yeah, it's a great tune, dude.
Now, I want to play something here off of Twilight as played by the Twilight Singers, but
Twilight is played by the Twilight Singers.
But which one? I think I've got three. I think I've got them mixed up, so I can't remember which one's which. I'm going to play Last Temptation.
Nope.
Oh, okay. I don't have to worry about it then. Bryan.
Let's go. We'll stay on the same record. The Twilight Kid.
Twilight Kid's a great song. Twilight Kid's a great song.
I don't have it.
It's on my list. Twilight Kid's a great song.
Yeah, I like opening and closing songs. Dooley does best than I think any other artist. Like the bookends of every album he's ever been a part of are the best.
Yeah.
All right, Bob.
You know what? I'm gonna guarantee that nobody's got this on their list. And if you do, I'll be surprised. Because again, now I'm just showing off. I don't even have 20 songs. I don't even have a list. I'm just going through their discography and going, I like this one. I'm gonna say off of Powder Burns, The Conversation.
Absolutely on my list.
That's a great fucking tune, man. Like, it's just just Dulli and a guitar.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Powder burns, powder burns, powder burns. The conversation. I don't have it.
Once I was invincible. It's a wonderful song. Like, it's just Dulli and a guitar. It's awesome.
And the harmonies in that. Oof.
Yeah,
man.
it's great. All right.
Let me try. See, I'm looking at all these "She Loves You" songs and feeling stupid for having them.
No, man. That's just my personal rule.
Yeah, dude. Like,
Well,
yeah,
the worst
do
thing
whatever
is-
you want.
well, no,
I mean, there's the cool part about it is with this band, like, there's no wrong answers
Okay.
Well, except for my time. Has come.
except for "My Time Has Come," which is just terrible.
All right. So let me play my next one. My time has come. No.
Ugh, the worst. I did see, like, when I saw them play at the 930 Club, this Italian band called Afterthought.
Yeah.
After Hours. They are the Italian version of the Twilight Singers. I would give it a go. Like, listen to it. It's pretty good. They played that song, and it was a little bit better because they were like weird Italian guys. And the singer dude, I'm not shitting. You can ask Stephanie this next time you see her. The singer dude would sing, like he would play guitar and sing, and he would step back from his microphone and tilt his head up into the air and spit like loogies just straight up into the air, and then just like try to catch them and keep playing. It was the oddest thing I've ever seen before in my entire life. He did this consistently throughout the show. Like, he would be playing a song and he would just step back and spit into the air and then like try to catch it in his mouth and just keep playing. It was so fucking weird. But they did a pretty good version of "My Time Has Come" in Italian. So I don't know.
All right. So
I'm just telling you, man. I'm a wealth of knowledge.
you're just laying it out there for
Just
us.
telling you guys. I'm just showing off, dude. That's all. That's all I'm doing.
All right, so I'm gonna go to "She Loves You." Again, like these songs stood out to me, so like there's no denying it. "Black is the color of my true love's hair."
That's a great.
Oh yeah. That's a staple for them, dude.
Oh,
But not on my list, oddly enough.
oh, okay.
Sorry, buddy.
That means it goes over there to the trash pile, just like Justin. All right, Brian.
Get my bags.
All right, Brian.
Get the trash pile, stupid.
I don't think anybody else is gonna have this one either. It's one of my favorite. There's just something so gripping about the opening of the song. It's one of my favorites. The beginning of the end from Dynamite Steps.
Nope.
I don't have it.
And the lyrics are just phenomenal.
The biggest thing that happened by the time I got to Dynamite Steps is I was like out of songs. I mean, I did some shifting to be able to get a couple in, but like I found myself kind of going, okay, but I already have like 25 songs, so I limited myself. And again, like,
Great line in that. It's I look in the mirror, time to pay, and nobody knows me when I'm awake. Oh, just like that's me. Yeah.
all right, Bob.
It's kind of pointless to try to play things on "She Loves You" because Bryan doesn't have any of them, but I don't care. Because some of these songs are so good that they have to kind of be in the conversation. And it's fun to kind of listen to the original version because I'd never even heard the original. And then I went back and listened to it and it's like, wow, Dulli's amazing. Is Hyper Ballad by Bjork.
I got it.
Yeah, that's good.
I got it.
Like, it's so, like, the Bjork version, I mean, just Dulli's version of it is so wonderful and fun and just, I love it. Like, I think it's perfect.
That's a Bjork tune. That's
a Bjork tune.
That's outstanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so odd because, like, just the songs that he picks that he's like, yeah, I'm going to cover a Bjork tune. All right, here it is, you know?
Yeah. Here's a Mary J. Blige song.
Yeah.
All right. I think I'm going to go to Dynamite Steps now, too, though. On the Corner.
Oh, it was a hard cut from that record for me, but
I love that song, but it didn't make my list.
All right. Your non-existent list, Bob?
Yeah, I just because like
his theoretical list.
It's in my brain, man. It's in my brain. Like I can just tell you, like when you say like Esta Noche, I go, oh yeah, of course.
Right.
You know, but when you go like whatever, I go, you know what, man, it didn't stick with me as much, if that makes sense.
Brian.
All right. Let's pop the cherry on a Stitch of Time. The Lure would prove too much. Closing track on that record. Phenomenal.
You got it, Bob?
Nope.
All right. Bob, you are up.
I am going to go with, you know what, man? It's such a good song. Like, it's so well done. Like, I love I Wish I Was.
Yep, I got it on mine.
The last song on Powder Burns. Because it's got this like weird, like dreamy tone to it. And then he just kind of comes in with that distorted guitar at the end of it, and you're like, where did this come from? Like,
it's got that saxophone in the beginning too.
Yeah. Like, how did you get from there to here, man? It's just so well done. I love it.
I don't have it, but Bryan does, so it is
in
the conversation. All right, I've been looking at this one, and we were talking about Powder Burns, so I'm going to trot it out there. I'm ready.
Yep.
I love I'm Ready. That's a great song.
But do you have it?
Yeah, man. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the ticket, yeah.
Yeah, you see?
Well, again, Powder Burns, the beginning of Powder Burns is very similar to me as Blackberry Bella, because like Towards the Waves, I'm Ready, There's Been an Accident, they all kind of flow together. Like it's almost like one big song.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just, I don't know, man. Like like you said, Dulli is great at openings and closings. Like he just gets it.
And Powder Burns and Blackberry are both concept records, because from my understanding, Powder Burns is about Lanigan descent back into cocaine addiction.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at you. You should.
Hence the name Powder Burns. It's a double entendre there.
Yeah.
I don't know what that word means.
It's a double. It means it has two meanings.
Oh, okay. All right, Bryan.
Let's go. Another closing track. Twilight.
Yes, I got it. It was It's the last song in for me.
Yeah.
It was between that and Martin Eden, oddly enough.
No, Martin. How do you leave out Martin Eden? That doesn't make any sense.
I wouldn't choose it over Martin Eden, but I.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, I did. So sorry.
Because you're a dope.
That's true. All right, Bob.
I'm going to stay with closing tunes, and I'm going to go at number 9 on Blackberry Bella.
Absolutely.
Yep, I got it.
It's the perfect end.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I love everything about it. Like, that's why I was so hopeful for the Lanigan Dulli stuff, because like just the way they kind of harmonize together with each other, and it's fucking magical to listen to.
Where do I want to go, though?
Have you ever done a Screaming Trees episode?
I haven't yet. It's on the list somewhere, but it would be a discovery for me because I never got into them.
Yeah.
So
at that point, that'll be 4 shows that involve Mark Lanigan in some way, because
yes.
You'd have the Queens of Stone Age, you have this one, and then you have he did work with the Wigs too. Am I wrong about that?
I don't think he did.
Well, even still.
Yeah.
Even still. I'm going to go back to Dynamite Steps and trot this one out there. Waves. So basically, I've got the idea of the band all wrong.
Okay. Well, I mean, you excluded Martin Eden, dude. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
It's amateur hour shit right there.
I mean, it's just horse cocky.
All right, Bryan.
I'll go with Dynamite Steps as well. Last Night in Town opening track.
Oh, I love that song. That's a good one.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
I don't have it.
To me, it was very reminiscent of Black Love era Wigs.
Dun, 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 dun. Last Night in Town. Did you have it, Bob?
Yeah, I love that song.
All right, so it's
high above the tide, underneath the waves, I could come alive.
All right, Bob, your turn.
I'm gonna go with. I can't believe we've gone this far without mentioning it. If you ever get the chance to see the Twilight Singers, they have to play the song because it's so much fun to watch them do live. And if you've seen the Afghan Wigs, you kind of see where pieces of it came from. Is $40.
Almost.
I don't have
Oh
Yeah.
God, it's so much fun to watch live.
See, that goes back to that I forget which song you struck out earlier, but seeing them live, and that does change the perspective of a lot of artists.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting into them. I'd like to see them live. I imagine that's a fun show.
It's a lot, like, because the Afghan Wigs used to do like She Loves You, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like they would just play like random bits of other songs in the middle of their songs, and for $40 he manages to work that actually into a song. Oh. And I don't know how true it is, but he was pretty sure that Andre 3000 ripped off $40 for the Shake It Like a Polaroid Picture song.
Oh.
Yeah.
He was pretty positive. He's like, dude, the chords are pretty much the same. I don't know. I if memory serves me correctly, I want to say he was pretty annoyed about that.
Hey, yeah. Oh.
Yeah. He thought, yeah. And so he kind of worked that into another song too, which was cool.
Oh. All right. Well, where do I go?
I don't know. Where do you go, Justin?
I'm gonna try to match up with Bob here and see if I can match up with him, because I got a couple more from She Loves You yet. Strange Fruit.
That's the one cover of theirs that I'm not a real big fan of.
Nailing it. You were off to a good start,
Yes.
Well, because it's a really odd reason, but I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Strange Fruit is a song about black people being lynched in the Deep South in like the 30s, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Like that's what the song is about. Southern trees bear strange fruit. There's blood at the leaves, blood at the root. Yeah. Black bodies swinging, and like. It's a very powerful song, but like I think Dulli and Lanigan kind of oversexed it a little bit, if that makes sense.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
Like, because the message of the song, it's about like black folks being lynched. And like it got a little too sexy. It might be a reach, but for me, it just feels like it didn't suit the kind of.
Well, nobody wants to be thinking about Greg Dulli's dong when like that's the subject matter.
I mean, I think lots of people want to think of Greg Dulli's dong, if we're being honest.
I'm thinking about it right now.
I always am. I can't help it.
Can't stop. Won't stop.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Who's hot? Who's not?
All right.
Yeah.
Brian?
Let me see.
We're doing good, gents. I'm not.
My other song I picked from Stitch in Time, Sublime.
Nope.
Nah, man, I love that record, but that didn't do it for me.
Because again, it was a technicality because the first
third
tracks
Live With Me's a cover.
Yeah, the covers. Yeah.
All right, Bob.
I'm gonna go from Twilight as played by the Twilight Singers. I'm gonna say Annie Mae.
Nope.
God, you guys are dicks.
Yes.
Just boneheads.
It's true. All right, I'll go back to Dynamite Steps here and go with the title track, Dynamite Steps.
Nope.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
Nah.
Nope. That's all right. All right, and Brian?
All right, if we're going title tracks, then I'm going to go with Powder Birds.
I don't have Powder Birds.
I love Powder Burns. It's a great song. That's a good one.
All right. Powder Burns. Oh, I need to move that. And so I'm pushing Powder Burns into the convo. All right, Bob.
All right. What do we have that's on the list already?
All right, so the 5 in. We have.
Okay, let's hear the 5 in.
Oh, well, that would.
I'm actually making a list for this part.
So the 5 that are in like the unanimous decisions. Bonnie Bray.
Okay.
I'm ready. Esta Noche.
Slow down, race car. What's the next one? Esta Noche?
Uh-huh.
Now I just want to listen to the Twilight Singers. Way to go.
You're welcome.
All right, what else?
Number 9.
All right.
And
Teenage Wristband, I think.
Teenage Wristband.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I feel that's a lot of Blackberry Bella, and I don't know if I want to keep playing stuff on it, but there's just, you kind of have to.
Yeah. And on that note,
I think I have one left from that album.
I could just do the whole record and be satisfied with it. Is it my turn?
Yep.
I'm listening to it right now on my headphones. It's the fourth song on Blackberry Bella. It's called St. Gregory.
Nope. I do not.
I mean, just for the line, "They love me down in Texas." Because if you don't know, Dulli, when he was with the Afghan Wigs, he got into a fight with a bouncer at a club in Austin, and he cracked open the back of his skull. Like, he almost died. Like, it was some serious shit. I had tickets to see him at the Abyss, and I couldn't go because the show got canceled. But just the fact that he references him getting his ass kicked by some bouncer in Austin during this song is amazing.
I kind of dig that.
Yeah.
That would have been knowledge that would have helped me a while ago.
I'm listening to it now. It's a beautiful song. It's great.
It was a hard cut. I picked another song in its place, but we'll get there when
I like it.
we get there.
All right, let's see. Let me slide this one. Fine, don't. Whatever. Don't do what I say. It's fine. All right. Okay, so I only have 5 left.
I have.
I think I'm going to trot my last one from.
I have 4 left.
I think I'm going to trot my last one from Twilight, as played by Clyde.
Again, I chose the last song I have from that record over this one.
Yeah. All right.
I like Clyde. It's a good tune.
All right, I'll put it to the combo then. All right. And Bryan.
All right, the song I chose instead of St. Gregory was Decatur Street.
Yes, I got it. I got it.
I like Decatur, but I'm going to say nah.
All right. Well, 2 of us got it, so it's...
I'm going to say nah.
It's in the combo. All right, Bob?
I'm going to go with the song in between St. Gregory and Decatur on that record is The Killer.
Yeah, it was a hard cut for me, too. Shit.
Oh, golly. It's so wonderful. That's right. God, I used to be so drunk listening to this stuff. I would be so drunk. Like, we would drive home from Middy's back in the day. Middy's was in Newport News, Virginia to Virginia Beach was like a 45-minute drive. Mm-hmm. And Mike and myself and whoever was unfortunately driving us in the car we would just listen to this record over and over and over again and just belt shit out. And like, it's The Killer, such a wonderful tune. I think we're lost. Don't worry, I've been here before.
It was a 50-minute drive for me to get to Justin's house, and I was listening to doing the same thing. Not drunk, of course.
Yes.
But yeah, I was just screaming Twilight Singers songs on the way here.
It's great.
All right, so that means it's my turn?
I can't believe The Killer. Wow, that's a bummer. That's a bummer, man. It's a bummer.
All right, I guess I'm going to trot this one out from She Loves You and hope...
She loves you. Yeah, all right, give it to us.
Please stay once you go away.
I love that. That was actually, you know what? I did manage to scribble down a few songs, and that was one of them.
That one's so good.
It's such a good tune. And the way it comes out of A Love Supreme, it's almost like 2 songs in one. It's beautiful.
Yeah. All right, Bryan?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's go...
I found my footing.
All right, the last song I have from Twilight is Love.
Nope.
I like it. It's right before Annie Mae, but
All right, Bob.
I don't think anybody's got this one, but this is probably one of my favorite Twilight Singer songs. Is Fat City.
No.
Nope.
God, you guys are the fucking worst.
See, this is what I thought I was going to have for the Afghan Wigs.
No, I mean, like, I just don't. I mean, granted, I didn't make a list. I'm not going to, this is partly my fault too. But I don't understand how you guys can't not like this song. It's Dulli at his, like, most egotistical and kind of maniacal almost, See, I mean, the chorus he's saying the word motherfucker in the chorus. I mean, like, what's not to not like about that, boys? Like, what are you doing?
That's not to say I don't like the song. It didn't make enough of an impression to come around for the second time. Them's the breaks when I'm discovering a band. I get the one time through, and if you grab my ear the one time through, then I go back through and calm it down to the final 20.
See, for me, it was just not wanting to have the entire album on there, so I had to make some hard cuts.
Yeah, see that too. All right. Well, I've got 2 left. I'm going to try them both out here and see if either one of these hits. I've got my last 2 are Underneath the Waves.
Yes! That's a great tune. Yes.
Hard cut.
And then Real Love.
Mary J. Blige.
Talking about real love.
That's...
I feel like that's the most popular Twilight Singers song, because that's the one that people don't even know that band have like referenced that song.
I ain't worried about it. We are doing A-okay here. I don't know what you got left, Brian, but you might as well clear out the chamber.
I've got 2, and they're both from Dynamite Steps. Blackbird and the Fox.
That's a good one.
And Get Lucky.
All right, let's see.
Get Lucky's a good song.
All right, let me find... Oh, that's the out list. No wonder. Blackbird and the Fox. Push that one through to the... All right. So there's none left, Bob, but if there's anything that has not come up so far that you feel like should have at least been in this conversation, lay it out. Or did we?
All right, I'm gonna go. Did anybody say "Towards the Waves"?
No.
Okay, that's the opening song on Powder Burns.
Yeah, which goes into I'm Ready. Yeah.
Yeah, I've always loved "Towards the Waves." You know what, man? I think I'm gonna reconsider There's Been an Accident.
He was listening to it now.
That's music to my ears, man. That song is so beautiful to me. I love it.
I'm gonna reconsider it.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get this list out of the way. I'm gonna
especially at the end where it really picks up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna reconsider There's Been an Accident. I'm gonna
That like the violin in it is just
yeah.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah, you're right. You were right. You know what? You were right about that one.
All right, so we have 5 all the way through. Bonnie Bray, I'm Ready, Esta Noche, Number 9, and Teenage Wristband. Those are in. The conversation, however, we need to get 5 out of.
Did anybody have That's Just How This Bird Sings?
Nope.
No.
That's a tough one. All right.
We have to get 5 out of these. There's Been an Accident, Too Tough to Die,
I think both of those are good right off the bat.
Hyper Ballad, Please Stay Once You Go Away, Clyde, Get Lucky, Blackbird and the Fox, Underneath the Waves, King Only, Twilight, The Twilight Kid, Powder Burns, Last Night in Town, Decatur Street.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it is. Martin Eden, I Wish I Was, and The Conversation.
And we didn't even mention Papillon.
No,
Nope.
none of us said it.
Oh, God, that's Sophie sings that song.
Really?
Because the beginning of it is Bye, Bye, Butterfly. I mean, wow, that's a tough one. Wow. And the banjo, it's such a great song.
Sometimes stuff slips through the cracks, man.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
The
It's a
show's
bummer.
like pulling teeth for me. I'm gonna pick some
It
of
is.
the songs, man.
I mean, I have too many, and Blackberry Bella is just like I said. It's every song is just amazing. Follow You Down is great. The whole fucking record is amazing. Okay, so
We have what 3 songs from that record already gone
Yes,
through.
3 made it through unanimously. So,
I think that's good, man.
As much as I want to have Martin Eden added to that, I think.
I mean,
we need to move
I think
on.
you need Martin Eden.
I mean, like I said, it was my last cut, so I'm not going to stand in the way if you guys feel like we need it.
Over number 9, I don't know.
Well, number 9's already in.
Right, I know, but I don't know. I want to leave room for something.
Yes.
you know.
So here's what we'll do: we'll lose Decatur Street. We'll keep Martin Eden around. If there's a spot for it, we'll give it. Now, I feel like, as much as I love She Loves You, I feel like we should only pull one of those. There's
Well,
3.
I mean, we had Nothing Land from A Stitch in Time, so we have room to add more from
because
She Loves You.
We have, what do we have here?
The only song I'm absolutely throwing down the gauntlet for is There's Been an Accident.
I'm down with you on that one.
Yeah.
All right.
I think There's Been an Accident is that was a miscue on my part. That's a beautiful tune.
All right, so I'll get out of the way for that, but then that puts 3 through for Powder Burns.
If we don't have anything from Dynamite Steps yet, I would vote for, out of the ones that we had 2, Last Night in Town.
That's
like an essential Twilight Singers song for me.
All right. I mean, again, like there's not a lot from Dynamite Steps. So, all right, we're going to lose anything else Powder Burns.
Oof, that's a tough loss right there. All the rest of it's gone. What other songs are you getting rid of then? You're getting rid of what? You're getting rid of I Wish I Was. You're getting rid of Powder Burns. You're getting rid of The Conversation.
And Underneath the Waves.
Mm.
Yep.
And Underneath the Waves. Man.
Yep.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we need to start making some room here.
Yeah. It really was just going to be those 2 albums at the end of the day.
Last Night in Town's a good song. You know what? I'll get out of the way of that if it's my holding it up.
We've got 7 through.
No,
Right?
I think it was me and you that
Yeah, you guys had it.
yeah,
I was
it was
I
me
was
and
in
you
the
that
way. I wasn't even in the way. I just didn't have it.
All right.
All right. So we have 3 left, and I feel like at least one from She Loves You, and at least one from Twilight is played by the Twilight Singers.
Yeah.
If you're going She Loves You, I think it's got to be Too Tough to Die.
I mean, I think I agree with you.
I agree.
I think I agree with you there. So let's make a cut here instead of losing both. Which one do you want to cut? Hyper Ballad or Please Stays once you go away? Which one would we lose?
I think Too Tough to Die would be enough from that whole record.
I tend to agree. So.
Because I think that kind of sums up like the Afghan Wigs and Greg Dulli himself. Like, how is this fat chain smoking coke using motherfucker still alive?
Yeah.
Like, how is it possible? Because he's too tough to die.
Yep.
I think the rest of the songs on that record are cool, but I think if you're talking like quintessential stuff, you can just kind of leave it after that.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So we need to cut, or we need to get 2 out of. Well, we have nothing from Twilight yet. So do we want to grab at least one? We have Clyde, King Only, Twilight, and the Twilight Kid.
Wow, that's a lot of songs from that record.
I would say Twilight Kid
Yeah.
or Clyde.
I would say Twilight Kid.
All right. Let's push.
It's a very strong opener.
Yeah.
Let's put that in there.
Rock steady, baby. Your man is dead.
Now,
Be careful, sugar. Who you call your friends?
Now the question is, do we want to lose everything else, or do we want to just have a showdown between everything that's left?
What's left?
All right, so Get Lucky, Blackbird and the Fox, Clyde, King Only, Twilight, and Martin Eden.
Ooh, fuck, man.
Now, I mean, if we can lose Martin Eden here.
No, dude. No, I'm not letting that go.
Well, I mean, it's the final spot.
I'm with you there. I mean, I know that makes 5 songs from that record, right?
I think
In the
it's
top
4.
10.
Yeah.
I think it's 4. Yeah, it'll be 4.
Because you have to have those 3 at least. You have to have Martin Eden into Esta Noche
into Teenage Wristband, and
Yeah.
then you go, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
All right. I'm with it because there's a perfectly good explanation, and I don't think.
And then after that's number 9, right? Is the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. 1, 2,
Even
3.
though I like Feathers more, but I love Feathers. That song I can't listen to it without my voice quivering every time I sing it.
All right, we got our 10, gents.
That's it?
Yep. We got Bonnie Bray. There's Been an Accident. I'm Ready. Too
Again,
Tough to Die.
trilogy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
The Twilight Kid. Last Night in Town. Esta Noche. Martin Eden. Number 9 and Teenage Wristband.
So you're saying the first 3 songs from Powder Burns and Twilight and Blackberry Bella made the list?
Yep.
All right, I'm good.
Yeah, I am too. We can call it a day.
Well, I mean,
There's some closing tracks on there too.
well, I like how you pointed it out, though. Like, if you get those 3 in a row like that, then you get it. to me, that's what we're trying to do here, is try to make a new listener understand what this band is doing. So, I mean, if that's the easiest way to do it, then that's how we do it. So,
but you know what? If you're gonna listen to the Twilight Singers, like if you listen to this podcast, because it's a podcast now, if you listen to this podcast and you go, oh, Twilight Singers, just listen to Blackberry Bella all the way through, and you go, oh, okay, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, like I thoroughly enjoyed my time with the Twilight Singers. I mean, I listened. Oddly enough, great walking band. I don't know if it's just because I'm really in a walking.
They're a great everything band, riding bikes.
Yeah,
fucking
yeah. I mean, like,
standing,
you're right,
standing
Bryan.
up
They
straight.
are.
But I mean, I'm just in a walking mode right now, and I don't know if that's just adding to it. But I really enjoyed my time with them. I wish I could have given a couple things one more time through. But I feel like I got the gist of the band, and I feel like I'm pretty proud of this list. I feel like we did good.
I think, and I want to ask you, gents, the same question. Do you think Greg Dulli lays in bed at night wondering why he isn't more famous?
Maybe.
Still, maybe not, but I think for a long time he did.
Because, like, the dude just oozes charisma, and, like, I mean, it just seeps out of his pores. Yeah. Like, that's when you watch him on stage, like that big fat sweat. That's not sweat. That's just charisma. He's just oozing out of his essence. And like, he's such a brilliant songwriter. And like, to me, it's one of the great mysteries of kind of like modern rock, like how they weren't able to just blow up.
It is weird because I mean, again, the Afghan Wigs were one of my favorite discoveries, period. Aside from maybe Superdrag, and that's just because Superdrag's right in my vein. But I didn't understand how I hadn't already been in love with Afghan Wigs.
Yeah, they're fucking amazing. I've turned a lot of people onto them because they're not a known band, and it's a crime. It's a fucking crime.
Well, like I said, when I went back to look at just to see where I matched with what was kind of popular Twilight Singer songs, like all of them were less than 1 million listens. And I mean, I'll take 600,000 listens. That's awesome, but like that's not a lot for someone who's been around that long.
Yeah,
you would.
Dude, I can tell. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio, where Greg Dulli is from, and like when I mention like, yeah, they're my favorite band, that people are like, who? The Afghan Wigs? It's like, really, dude? Like, this is where they're from. Like, this is their town.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, man. Like, they're magical. He's a magical man, that Greg Dulli.
It is weird though. Like you said, he's for somebody who's so charismatic. Like they I mean, all accounts I've seen a couple live shows like on the YouTube and whatnot. I don't get why. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand how. At least they're not more like. How is it not more mainstream? But I mean, again, then maybe that'd be a bad thing.
I mean, because the closest they came was Bonnie Bear on that show, and then There's Been an Accident was in the soundtrack to the movie Choke, which is the Chuck Palahniuk adaptation. Yes. Like it was in the end of that movie.
Oh, I'll have to watch that again.
Yeah, it's when he's on in the airplane bathroom at the end. It barely plays, but I knew it immediately.
Right.
But like I think that's probably the closest, like the biggest projects they've ever been a part of as far as the Twilight Singers go.
It's just so weird. Like there's so much raw talent going on.
And Dulli was in a movie. Like he was in Monument Avenue. Did you ever see that with Dennis Leary?
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Like Dulli plays Colin Meaney's like mob muscle who doesn't speak. Huh. Like, go back and watch it. It's like Colin Meaney, Dennis Leary, Ted Demme directed it, and Dulli's in it, just chilling.
So, any final thoughts on the Twilight Singers before we call it a day?
They're one of the greatest bands of all time.
And people just don't know.
Yeah.
And you do realize that Towards the Waves is just like a 49-second sound.
Yeah.
All right. I just want to make sure we're all comfortable with that. Like it's just 49 seconds of like weird guitar tones that goes right into I'm Ready.
Yep, perfectly.
But I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, gents, I'm gonna run through this.
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna run through this list one last time, and we'll call it a night.
Somebody, I'm ready.
We got
it's wonderful.
I hope I see you out tonight, and I
it's a
hope
great
we
song.
get it on.
Yeah.
We got Bonnie Bray. There's been an accident. I'm ready. Too Tough to Die. The Twilight Kid. Last Night in Town. Esta Noche. Martin Eden. Number 9. And Teenage Wristband. That's a solid 10. You will understand the band listening to those 10.
If you don't like that band after listening to those songs, you're a fucking moron.
And like when you make your list, because do you put the list up anywhere anymore?
Well, I could pay for a website, I guess. I don't know.
No. Because like I'm just saying, like make sure you
Post it on your
do
Facebook page.
if you're gonna make your own. Well, I know you used to do like a Spotify playlist. At least I had one for the Beastie Boys you made.
I do that. Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. When you do
okay.
your Spotify playlist, make sure you do Martin Eden, Esta Noche, Teenage Wristband in that 1, 2, 3 orders,
right?
Because it just flows so swimmingly. And same thing with Powder Burns.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we've done something here, gents. And if you dug us talking about Twilight Singers today, go ahead and do me a favor and yourself and subscribe to Deprogrammed on the iTunes or on the Google Play and hopefully soon Spotify. It'd be nice, Spotify, it'd be nice if you just sent me an email that said, no, your podcast isn't good enough, or
I don't know how that works.
I don't either. Like I reached out to them and you fill out the form and then
They have to like
nothing.
approve of your podcast?
Yes.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's not like iTunes where they're just like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, sure.
You're in.
I mean, but at least iTunes sends you an email that says your application's been received.
Yeah.
Nothing from Spotify. So, like, I don't know. It might be there. It might not be. I assume it's not. But keep checking. Also, as Bob mentioned, there are playlists for every band that we've done. Look at those playlists, see what lists came about, and then, again, if you're subscribed on iTunes or Google Play, go back and listen to that show and see how we came up on that list. Brian's been on the show like 8 times.
Yeah.
Hear that sexual voice. Yeah. And Bob...
8 times.
Let's see,
I think so, yeah.
This is, what, your 4th time, Bob? I think.
I did Oasis, and I don't think that went well because I don't think that girl who we did Oasis with liked me very much because I was very much in character of Noel Gallagher. Like, fuck you, these are the biggest songs in the world. Why are we talking about anything else?
Bigger than the fucking Beatles.
Yeah, because like I was like, nah, dude, nah. But yeah, I did Oasis, I did Twilight Singers, and the Afghan Wigs.
It was funny because Bob kept going, oh, I see what this is. You guys are trying to get all these cool songs. And it's like, no, these are the best songs. Oh,
yeah, because like when you think Oasis, like you think like, okay, the huge smash hits that the whole fucking world knows. Like they were like picking at like, oh, what about on this song on Standing on the Shoulders of Giants? Like, no Gallagher doesn't even give a fuck about that song anymore.
My number one song, Wonderwall.
I mean, dude, it's one of the best songs of the past 25 years,
I guess.
And then listen to Ryan Adams' version of
Ryan
it.
Adams'
It's even
version
better.
is better. It's the superior version of that song.
Oh yeah, no, totally. And I think even Noel has said that too. Like they have an admiration for each other, Noel Gallagher and Ryan Adams, which I think is wonderful.
Why don't they kiss then?
I mean, you never know. I mean, well, Noel's I think Noel's married or something like that, and I don't know. Ryan Adams is real smelly. I don't think Noel would be into that so much. And if you haven't listened to Noel Gallagher's new solo record, it's really good.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
Liam Gallagher's solo record is good too, but it's a little more Oasis-y.
Well, isn't it the rest of Oasis without Noel? That album?
That was Beady Eye that he did for a while.
Okay, yeah.
But it's a little more like pop friendly, I think, where the Noel Gallagher, the new Flying Birds record is just really, really good.
Well, hasn't Liam gone on record saying like basically, what was it? Did he call Noel a turd or something? He's like,
only turds go solo, and then he finally was like, all right, I guess I'm a turd now. And I will tell you this though, which is cool. In the UK, Liam Gallagher was asked by the Rolling Stones to open for them.
oh,
and he's a big Manchester City fan, and I guess the Stones are playing Old Trafford, which is United Stadium, and Liam was like, no, I'm not doing it.
That's fucking fan loyalty right there, dude.
I mean, think about all the money he's passing up, just going like, no, fuck United, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
That's why I love him. That's why I love him.
Oh, man. Well, Bob, I think up next for you is A Tribe Called Quest, which will probably either be early next month. We'll talk about it. I don't know what's up next for you, Brian. I think you're up there for like a good
I have a
5
lot
or
of shows
6.
that I want to do. Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll figure one out. I don't.
How are you so far? How are you liking Tribe Called Quest?
Let's see. I listened to the first record, and it's funny because it starts out one way, but it finishes like another way, and I was like, ooh, I was liking the stuff, like how it starts, but then like it hits this shift come like, I don't know, track 3, somewhere around there, and I'm just like, ooh, this is what I thought A Tribe Called Quest was, and it's amazing. Like I pulled 7 tracks from the first.
Midnight Marauders is one of the greatest records of all time.
And that's
you haven't even gotten to Midnight Marauders and Low End Theory are like the pinnacles of like 90s hip hop.
Totally.
And see, the funny thing is, I think at one point I literally had every song, but like I was editing as I was going. I was like, no, this one's better than that one. This one can go now. And then I'd hear the next one. Oh, this one's better than that one. This one can go. So, and we'll talk about it in a couple weeks. But so far, so good. Really enjoying it. So,
I mean, Tribe is great. I mean, they're just. I mean, I'm so excited for you because like I started listening to Tribe Called Quest when I was in like the 8th grade. So like but I mean, like to listen to Tribe Called Quest now. Yeah. I mean, it still sounds fresh. It still sounds good. Like the productions is so tight, and the beats are so good, and the rhyming is so on point. Like it's wonderful.
And the message is still on point.
And their new record is great.
It is
like
phenomenal.
The one that came out last year is amazing.
Well, I'll get there. I mean, I think it's like 6 overall. So
yeah.
I mean, it won't take me long. I basically listen to one a walk. So that's at least one a day.
Yeah, wait till you get to Midnight Marauders and all that shit. Like, dude, oh man, like Low End Theory, like the birth of Fife, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Is just, it's amazing to hear because he goes from the fucking Mr. Dinkins, would you please be my mayor bullshit to just, I mean, crushing it on Low End Theory and Midnight Marauder. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing to listen to his transformation as an MC.
So I'm in for something.
Yes.
I can't wait. I can't wait. And on that note, the Twilight Singers, even though we hadn't talked about them in about 15 minutes, the Twilight Singers...
you can edit all that stuff out.
Don't.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
You already had to cut 15 minutes out of the beginning.
Yeah.
We were trying to get him on the phone.
I'm sorry. That was
Skype's
Skype.
problem.
It was Skype because like I hadn't used it in a long time, and then it was an older version of Skype, so I had to go back and re-download it. And then the first time I downloaded it, it was corrupted, so that I had to download it again. It was just a pain in the ass.
So
But I did it for you, Greg. I did it for you.
The Twilight Singers. Learn them and love them, people. We'll see you next week. Hold on a sec, Bob, all right?
Yeah.
Then we can take a photo.